All right, so now that I have Clicky open and I want to pull up what I did last class, I'm going to go out, head up like we started last time and do new image. I'm going to select landscape. I'm going to select transparent and I'm going to select OK. Now we have our blank template and now we need to add our layers that we did last week. So I'm going to go to import image. I'm going to find my photograph first, so the one that's just my photograph, and I'm going to open that. Remember, you want to pick as layer, and it should be set up because this is the picture of the layer instead of just your picture. So this is already how you cropped it and everything if you saved it last week. So now I have my picture layer. So just to make sure, we can see that there's that original layer and then I have my picture layer. Now I'm going to go back up here to insert image. And I'm going to click on this one. So this is the part that I drew. And I'm going to hit open. Same thing as layer. We need everything to be its own layer. So this is showing both the layers together. That's why you see the picture of you. Now that I have that, I can continue the process. So the next step that we're going to be following is to start to identify your actual facial features, but we're not going to go crazy. So kind of watch what I do. I want to go to my brush. I want to make sure I have black. It's my small. I have that 4 and I can see what's going on. Okay. So I'm going to identify my lips. I'm going to identify my eye, and a lot of Derrick Adams portraits kind of simplify the eye. I don't like that last line. So I just undid that last step by hitting Control Z. And then you need to make sure you have the actual color part of the eye. For the ear, we're just going to do the outside shape. We're not going to worry about all of the details inside the ear. We're just going to break it down to that simple shape. I'm going to draw my hairline. And I just want to make sure I get back to that line. I don't need to keep tracing along it. And then I have that. I also want to do the line that you can see inside my bun. Then I'm going to go ahead and recognize my neck and shirt line. And then I'm also going to identify my shoulder down here because there's just a slight part of my shoulder that shows. All right, I have my chin line as well. So I'm going to start down here on my original line and I'm going to come up. And I have my earring, which is kind of in the way, so I'm actually going to draw my earring. All right. And if you notice here, I need to connect this and make sure it closes off, because if we don't, then when we go to fill color, it will fill everything, and we definitely don't want that. And for our nose, I'm going to go ahead and draw a slight line here. And then I'm also going to do my nostril and the side of my nose. And again, if you see lines don't connect, oh, I don't like what I just did, then you want to connect them. Now, here's where you start to break it down into shapes. So, for example, I'm going to break down the tip of my nose and the edge. I'm going to start to come up, and then I'm going to break this. Oh, I don't like that. I'm going to break this up with my eyebrow. I'm going to go ahead and break my chin off. I'm going to take my lips and bring a line down here. I'm going to go ahead and take my nose and come up. And there's not really a right or a wrong, kind of do it until you think that you have enough, but you definitely don't want to go over too much. Now I'm going to kind of break my neck up. This back area is pretty big, so I'm going to divide that at least a little bit. All right, and then my hair is up, so I'm going to kind of make a pattern of areas coming back. If you're having trouble seeing, so like in my hair it's really dark, if I go to layers, I can turn the opacity or the transparency of my hair down a little bit so I can see the lines that I've done and make sure that they're well. If I see any gaps again in those lines, I need to make sure that they're totally connected, or when I go to color it, it won't work. Oh, that was not on purpose. And for my bun, I'm just going to comment like a star pattern out. All right, so now that I have all my space divided, for my shirt, maybe I do some stripes. And just to have some contrast, I'll do horizontal stripes on the arm. All right, so now I'm in a pretty good place with my lines. I'm going to go ahead and turn this all the way down, and I'm now going to add another layer. So last week we renamed these. So this is our line layer, and this is just to keep us knowing exactly what we're doing. We're going to add this one, and we're going to rename this color. And rename, and I'm actually going to take the color and I'm going to drag it behind the line so that the line is actually sitting on top. Now I want to make sure I'm in my color layer, and now I'm going to come up here, I'm going to click this, and instead of the brush I'm going to use the fill. Now, this is where you guys get to pick your colors and choose how you're going to do this. I showed you two examples. One of them was really bright colors, and one of them was really like kind of calm, more neutral colors that you might see in skin tones. So I'm going to kind of play with this. So this is the color that I'm actually going to look at or see. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click in a couple of the areas with this color. And then I'm going to shift it around. always go back and change your colors. All right, and just to add some contrast down here, I'm going to use some brighter colors. All right, so that's where I should be right now. Now, I have 3 different layers. I have my picture layer, I have my color layer, and I have my line layer. I'm going to go ahead and save my layers.